What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage, and welcome back to the number two. Wait, that's not right. The number one live tuning show in all existence through all time, as long as forever that we've been doing this. We already had 16 people in the chat, so I thought, why not go ahead and fire this thing up, get some people rolling in here. And man, I tell you what, it has been a week. I cut myself, and I got a blister, and I got busted up knuckles, and I got metal in my arms. It has been crazy, 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 crazy this week. For one, getting ready to do the roll cage. So for the live show, it's probably close, not quite 2 years for the live show, John. I think the live show started around June. So, very close, though. Even though I think we're only in, what are we calling this? Season 2? I don't know. Maybe Season 3. But, yeah, we are getting the cage ready to go. I've been putting the floor pads in since I can do that part because we can, you can MIG weld those in. And then Justin is coming over this weekend to do the TIG welding. So, I'm trying to lay out as much of it as humanly possible. Unfortunately, my grandfather is very sick, and so I am next week going down to Texas to visit him. So there will not be a live show next Thursday, heads up, because I will be on the road most likely. I'm leaving out Wednesday. I'm going to end up driving down there. And so on top of it, if there's any patrons or stuff in here, just a heads up. I might be slow to respond mid next week for about a week or so as I go do the family thing. So, family always comes first. Jake, I'm so ready, man. So ready to get the Nova ready to rock and roll. And rear end still hasn't showed up, but I did get the heavy duty spring perches installed. I'm trying to remember if I shot a video on those. I may have installed those without shooting a video. No, I shot a video on those. I'll get that video up here soon. I appreciate everybody. You guys are family to me, so, we're all one big tuning family. I appreciate everybody's concern and well-being and well wishes and all that stuff. So thank you very much. And, I hate having to skip out on a live show, but I will be back the following Thursday, I promise. And, hopefully I can get some videos queued up and rolled out so there's some content coming. Oh man, Ahmed's got 1700cc injector issues. Try to reduce the minimum pulse width. You got to realize at some point in time you break over a minimum pulse width where the injectors just don't open anymore. The problem with 1700cc's is getting them to not be rich at idle. You're probably going to just have to live with them being rich at idle, man. That's just the way it goes whenever you're making big horsepower. So, and that's kind of one of the things I like about running a secondary injector setup, because then you can have smaller injectors for good idle and street manners and not have to deal with that. So got the leaf springs in, got the spring perch upgrades in. Of course, you guys saw the new video on the subframe connectors, got those cleaned up and did a little more welding on them and got them painted down. Jim, you missed the whole conversation about that from the get-go. So I won't go into it, but there's probably a reason. Ahmed, you got to piggyback them like I do. Run your big injectors on a piggyback ECU and keep your stock ECU doing its thing. Jacob, can I ask a question? I'm having a lean warm start issue Gen 3. After about 30 to 60 seconds, it calms down to what my VE commands. Jacob, there is a specific table on there, and I believe it's under fuel on the 3rd gen. Look over on the right-hand side. That's going to be cranking fuel, and it is actually 2 tables generally, and it is time-based, and it goes through those tables. If you're lean on that, bring the fuel up on those. John, 2200cc injectors, I mean, they'll be fine as long as you idle at 1500. Tommy, I've lived in Texas. Lived in Texas for years. And I'm from Oklahoma. I mean, as I call it, North Texas. So what else have we done? Oh, I installed the parachute mount, and the parachute's on there. I don't know if I put a picture of that on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, by the way. If you guys have an Instagram, you can find me under Goat Rope Garage. I post on there every once in a while. Got the parachute mount installed. Haven't ran the cable or anything like that. And then, well, you know, if you're on E85, that helps. So, you know, I'm putting 1500s in for E85. What else did I do? Oh, I got the battery disconnect installed and wired up. So the battery disconnect's in there. When do you think the Nova will make its first run? Jacob, I think Keystone opens up test and tune first week of May. So I'd like to be there for that. But that being said, all the parts need to get in before then. So my drag pack is, you know, being built. So it's going to be a while before my wheels show up. But I'm still hoping that they show up mid next month. Could be around the 1st of May, though. Trying to think of what else. That's about the only thing that I'm going to be waiting on, I think, is the wheels for it. Before I got all the tires, I got everything. And then, of course, the axle. But the axle should be shipping out. Should have shipped out this week. I need to call Quick Performance and see what's going on with that. They said it should only take 2 weeks to build that thing out. Do you typically have to add a couple degrees of advance on idle? Probably not on idle. You know, if you're in that 15 to 17 degree range, you're probably fine. Thanks, Ahmed. I appreciate it, man. What up, Theo? I know it's the Ozman, but I always call him Theo. MAF tuning is done. When I turn VVE back on and it's 18 to 20% range, can I pull 18 from the whole table? Yeah, Matthew, you can do that and maybe not go straight to 18. Maybe go to 15 and drive it a little bit and make sure. John, yeah, I went with a fully built Ford 9-inch from Quick Performance on there. So, should be good. It's only, I can't remember, 31 spline, I think. So, it's nothing crazy on that, but honestly, I think at 31, that's good for 4,000 foot-pounds per axle. 3,000 maybe. So, you know, VJ, we're going to be, in fact, I bought a new SD card for my main GoPro. Specifically, that one's going to be on a lot. And I'll probably take a portable hard drive with me just so I can download those. John, we're running 275 6015s on it. Jim, your 850s did not grenade the Super Auto. They're still in there. Joe, no IPA tonight. I got too much to get done tomorrow to have an IPA. I'm drinking a body armor, in fact. Oh, yeah, at idle, Matt, that's fine, man. Pull 18 out of it. Super Slow says, run the Super Slow Rotto, the cousin of the Super Rotto, this Saturday if weather stays good. Last run last year before the new stall was 10 with a 3-second 60 foot. What's the braking setup in the front? I've got Willwoods all around. So I've got the Dynalite Pros, or whatever the hell it is. The whole axle, Jim. You tore the whole axle out of the Silverado with your 850s. No beer today. Oh, man. 15-inch wide slicks. I wish I had the time to do a big tire on. As I said, I think we're going big tire of the truck. Nope. Rick, front end is I think they replaced the subframe at some point in time, but it is a factory subframe. So, just, you know, it's one of those things. For one, I've got way too much money in the motor. So, because of that, I've been had to pinch my pennies a little bit here on the last final parts that we're throwing at it. Matthew, can you explain your filtering in depth for VVE zone tuning? Yeah, basically, Matthew, if you go through and watch that video, I set the zones up, or the graphs up based on the zone boundaries, and I moved the zone boundaries to fall on rows that were in the VVE editor, and that way what you basically get is hard breakpoints to say, okay, it has to be above this and below this to be in this zone, and then, you know, between these RPMs or KPA and all that stuff. And so you're isolating every single individual zone into its own little graph. And it seems to work a little better than trying to attack the whole table at the same time, but I would suggest trying to attack the whole table first, because I found that unless it's a pretty crazy modified setup, you don't necessarily need to do zone by zone. Andrew, I think she's well aware. She just doesn't look at it. Oh, awesome, Mr. Davis. Thank you for your service in the Army. Get that 14 Silverado running, brother. Yeah, John, you can hit me up. I've not messed with the boost controllers because I've not used boost controller on the Terminator X, but between the two of us, I'm sure we can sort it out. Yeah, Rick, that's kind of was my approach. Spin it where it counts, and that's why I'm basically beefing up the stuff that could break, because I want this thing to be able to make passes without issues, get on the road, go to the next track, you know. I've seen what you know, if you go back and look at the class that we're running in over the past couple years, the fastest cars really are in the mid 9-second range, and they're not consistent in the mid 9-second range. And I'm hoping to have a little more consistency because we're running EFI, so we can make adjustments on the fly whenever DA shifts a lot. And we're going to be running on E85, which might help on some of the higher altitude stuff. So I'm hoping for a little more consistency and decently fast time. So the idea is just to build a solid car that'll get from A to B and be able to utilize all that horsepower and torque. Now, I'll tell you the honest truth. What we're going to do is probably try and get it out, test and tune, see what it does around here. And if it's not fast enough, we're probably going to jerk the cam out and throw new springs at it and go with a super aggressive cam on it. Because the cam in there is not crazy. It's like a 685 or something like that on both. And that's spring limited. But if we need to, we'll run it out to like an 800 and throw new springs at it to try and pick up more power. I'm a big fan of the meth injection. I think it has more bang for its buck than Octane Booster, but Octane Booster can be a band-aid to get you by. When tuning on the road with fuel like E85 or C16, how would you know your MBT? Well, you don't, and that's why we basically just kind of go into looking for getting into knock and then backing off of knock, because once you get into pre-detonation, we know that we've exceeded it regardless. And you can tweak it at the track. You know, you can make adjustments, bump it up, bump it down. See if it affects your ET whenever you lower it, because you could probably pull a degree or two out, even from the standard threshold. So, Mike, does the new one work, or did that one break it too? So Mike has had a very interesting issue that we've been dealing with for the past week. He's one of my guys that we're doing a custom tune on. And we, at some point in time, you know, I can't figure out why, from this tune to the next tune, it was running really good on this, and we were working on the mass airflow sensor. And we're making adjustments of less than 2% on the mass airflow curve. But from like tune 11 to tune 12, it totally broke. Totally just would not run. And I mean, as I said, there wasn't a more than 2% shift on that thing anywhere. Well, I mean, I've got a Voodoo Ahmed, and I will be putting meth injection on it eventually. I guarantee it. Yeah, Scuba Sam, I do not blame you for ditching the ECM, going with the Terminator X Max. It'll be a lot better for you. ProCharger boost is about 3 psi short of the anticipated boost level. Which test would be the quicker simple to narrow down the culprit? Josh, look at your boost curve, look at your manifold air pressure. If it rises at a rate that is constant versus RPM, so if you go out and do a wide open throttle, it won't match your RPM, so it won't do this. But if your RPM is a flat, straight up on a wide open throttle pull and you're falling off, that's an indication that you're getting belt slip on it. If you're not falling off, that's just the boost that you're going to make on that pull. You've got to remember that boost is a measure of restriction, and just because Jimmy over here makes 3 psi more than you do, maybe because he has more restrictive heads, exhaust, something like that, and you're making more power at 3 psi less. And so the idea is a well-designed motor makes more power at lower boost because it's more efficient at moving air. Chaz, what's going on in Australia? Oh, Luke, I love my math. Well, whenever I do meth injection on the Voodoo, it'll be after we throw some boost at it. I do both meth and E85. I run E85 on the truck with methanol injection. If you saw what methanol injection did to your charge air temperatures, you would always be, "What up, Breezy? Good to see you, brother. How's Texas?" It's been a while. Yeah, Sam, it's super nice. Yeah, and that's, Josh, you'll notice specifically like Pro Charger and stuff like that, they won't list pulleys by boost pressure anymore. I think Vortec maybe still does, or Paxton, but even then it's you just throw one on there. If you want more, you go smaller. Tommy Spencer, thank you, sir, for some Rocky Mountain Race Week fundages. Oh, that reminds me, we've got two things going on. Everybody hold your comments. Let's do I got another coffee mug over here. We'll give a coffee mug away. So I'm starting up a drawing. Let's see if it does its thing. There we go. Okay, there's the drawing. And while we're doing the drawing, let's do... You reminded me, don't forget to go over, if you haven't already, and get your Goat Rope Garage Rocky Mountain Race Week limited edition shirt. They're going to be on sale for about another month now. And then essentially once sales are finalized, we'll go in here, put everybody's name on there. There's an option whenever you go in and choose your shirt, how you want to put your name in there. I had to put no profanity on here for a couple of you because I know how you would be. So I'm just looking out for you. Is it doing its thing? Ah, it's not giving tickets out, is it? Okay. Let's try this again. This stupid thing has just been nothing but a pain in the butt lately. I try to give stuff away. Okay, try it now. Let's see if we get tickets going. Seriously, let's go, Streamlabs. We may have to do what we did last time and close this one out and let me start a different one. Cancel this giveaway, yes. Here. I'll start a merch pack, but it's for a coffee mug. It is for a coffee mug. But yes, as I said, come support the garage. Get an awesome shirt with your name on it. There will be other stuff on here. You know, I'll have my name and my co-driver's name on here in the class that we're in. And then, you know, I'll say supported by all the people that supported it. So that's my spiel. I don't spiel often on here. And the raffle's still not working. Sorry, guys. You know, we went a long time without having any issues like this, and then just out of nowhere, it's just not been working the last couple times. It's annoying, man. I just want to get stuff. Thanks, John. Appreciate it, man. We've sold a decent amount of shirts, so there'll be quite a few names on there. It can, you know, E85, the burn rate on E85 can do some stuff based on cylinder pressure, because generally it's going to be slower, but as cylinder pressure goes up, it's going to be a little bit faster. But it has, because, and the thing about it is, because you are using like 30% more fuel to accomplish your target fuel, you are actually generating more BTUs through it. Man, I know, Breezy. Every time I turn around, you're tuning like 6 new vehicles. Jim, not that I know of. I'll be down in your area next weekend. What up, Vince? Yes, I finally got it out in the mail to you, Vince. Dude, don't get me started. What's the most compression can you have to run a supercharger? You can run as much compression as you want, just as long as you know that basically, you know, any forced induction is just a well, I don't want to say artificial compression, but effectively you are creating a new compression ratio. So if you're naturally aspirated at 10-to-1, as you add boost, your compression ratio is going up because you're adding a percentage of air on top of what the engine generally breathes on its own. Mike, yours is double overhead cam, isn't it? You would want to valve timing on yours. Well, and yes, Joe, and he might be being silly here, says, I love high compression forced induction stuff. I actually do, because specifically if you're on something like a turbo, there's some benefit to having all that naturally aspirated torque and the way that the air moves. You know, 10-to-1 is not high compression ratio. I'm talking 12-to-1, 11.5-to-1. If this one doesn't work, I'll just have to do like 2 giveaways next time. This is the last shot. Yeah, any dual overhead cam is really good for virtual valve timing stuff. Single cams, not that big. Sure, Tyler. Actually need to look up scaling info. 120-pound injectors, boost 07, table and HP tuners maxed out, so I need to look into it. Yeah, you'll have to have those. Just keep an eye on the spark table, because your cylinder air mass calculations are going to be different. That's the big thing, other than, you know, just doing the double AFR shit. I gotta quit cussing on the live show. Yeah, okay, the raffle's done. I'm canceling the raffle. We'll do 2 next time. I don't know what's going on with it. This has just been buggy lately. Maybe I need to find a new raffle platform. I mean, the thing about it is it's popping up and showing that the raffle was canceled and it's open and stuff, but it's not doing tickets all of a sudden. So, sorry guys. And gals, if there's any gals in here. Sorry, people. But, yeah, 2 weeks. Won't have a live show next Thursday. Do a live show Thursday after, and if we can get it together, I think Joe Simpson's going to join me for that live show. That's the plan. So, we'll have Joe on as a guest, talk about tuning. Wheel of Names. I am not going to copy everybody's names over into this thing. Nice try, though. Yeah, I'll be interested to pick his brain myself, as a guy who does this day in and day out. Jim, you might be right, man. I just, I after last year's frustrations of destroying the truck over and over again, I just didn't get into that much racing, and that's why I'm hoping this year with the Nova we have a little bit more consistent, something that we can take to the track and not destroy itself all the time. There you go, John. I wrote "tuned by me" on a mug with a Sharpie. I'm good to go. I need to get, I got a whole box of decals over here that I need to get on the website. I may have put some on there. Let me double check, see if they're back on the store. Yeah, they are. There's some Tuned by Me decals on the store, and I've got some big ones. I got some of the small round ones that I haven't got back up on the store yet. I can't really see this stupid light. The small round Tuned by Me. That's not on the store yet, but the cutout one that everybody seems to like, that one's back on the store. And then just the big round goat head ones, I need to get those back up on the store. But, And then, we got to do hats, man. I got to get hats ordered up again. Order a separate fuel cell to feed the wet kit. If I'm running 93 pump gas with Spain with 114 being injected through the wet kit, is there any way to ballpark how much timing to pull? Ooh. That's a good question, Tyler. Off the top of my head, I'm not going to shoot you an answer. I'd have to do a little research on that because of the burn rates on 93 versus 114. Technically, you shouldn't have to pull any timing on 114. You could probably stick with your 93 base timing. How much are you spraying? Torque tables aren't going to be an issue on the Ford. I've dug into them. They're a pain just because there's a lot of stuff going on there, but the torque tables are the easy part. It's the airflow calc tables that are ugly. Oh, well, the Voodoo, we're talking about the Voodoo platform. The Mustang that I bought has the 5.2 liter flat plane crank as opposed to the Coyote. I know, people are asking for flat bills, so I'll do flat bills next time. Yeah, Tyler, I'm a big fan of Joe's videos. I really like the one where he went through all the ECUs. What about the full windshield tuned by me? If you want one of those, Josh, email me and I'll put you in contact with my vinyl guy and he can cut you one. Yeah, 150 shot, man, at 10.6, Tyler. If you're running race gas, 114 on that thing, you're probably fine with the timing. Awesome, Alan. Sorry it took so long to get the shirts out. You guys know me. I'm just slowly ship stuff. Not gonna lie. How much horsepower does the Voodoo stock bottom M support? I don't know, what, 700-800 horsepower? I am doing the, John, I am actually having the goat logos cut. They're going to be like 2x2 for the side of the Nova. And I can't do the windshield because, you got to do the Rocky Mountain Race Week banner on the windshield, but I am getting the websites for the back glass. So, I am having decals made for the Nova right now. I'm anxious to just get the goat heads on the side because I'm going to do them in black. I think they'll look really cool on the gray or whatever the heck color that car's supposed to be. Good to see you, TJ. I'm pretty sure you're one of the guys asking for flat bill hats. I don't care what kind of bill a hat has on, period. I never wear them forward anyways. Start doing my live show like this. I'm sure Nitrous Express would be happy. Get some Superman capes. They probably sell as good as the hats. Anybody want a cape with the Goat Rope Garage logo on the back of it? I can see if I can source those. Tyler, I sold all my hats. I kept 2 of them for myself. One of them's filthy dirty. The other one's downstairs. I don't even have my own hats. 2000 Silverado, 10 to 15 pounds, having it at 11.5 and 18. I don't see any issues with that. $10, $15, $18 might be on the high side, but I don't know. I try it, see what the knock sensors say. John, trust me, I've thought about doing that. Putting my logo on the back. Oh man, everybody wants a video about start of injection timing and end of injection timing. I'll do one soon, I promise. Send it. Let me know how it goes. Did I rock the disclaimer on here? Stock green gap. That's a good question, Andrew. I'm guessing it's on the stock green gap. 10-15 should be fine on that. 2000 Silverado, was that thing got 9.5, maybe 10 to 1 compression ratio? Jim, I gotta brush up on my Gen 5 tuning too. I really want to get the Silverado out. EOYT Gen 3. Well, the thing about start of injection, end of injection timing is the same on Gen 3 and Gen 4. You're just looking at valve timing or your cam timing to see when the valves are open and closed to make sure that you're just not shooting gasoline out the backside of the valve or something. It's a little bit more tricky whenever you get into direct injection, but it's still the same principle. And it's kind of a, in my opinion, boring topic because it's talking a lot about going through and calculating valve angles and timing events and all that fun stuff. Went with dish pistons on my new build. Well, on the Super Auto, I dropped the compression ratio on it down to what, 9 to 1? Have you done the Gen 3 knock sensors on the Terminator? Not yet, Sam. I do have those. I will be installing those before we get going, and I will go through how to calibrate them. That is going to be based on basically the bore generally. You're going to look at the bore size because it's going to determine the frequency in which the detonation creates noise. And so you have to look at the size of your bore, and there's a chart out there that show you that knock should be between this many hertz and this many hertz, and then you set that up. That's one way that you can do it. Another way you can do it is basically just turn that thing cranked up where it's hearing knock at idle and start dialing it back. But I literally have the knock sensor sitting on the table of parts to install. I need to add that to my list of stuff. So, single turbo on a 15 Silverado, trying to keep stock fuel. Jim White, you will be good up until about 5 PSI, maybe 6 PSI boost. Then you're going to start running out of fuel. Does it really matter at wide open throttle? Probably not as much. It's going to be more for idle and low power stuff. A lot of times if you're idling and you smell gas, it's because of start or end of injection timing. Wide open throttle events are happening so fast and you're moving air so much that it becomes less of an issue. You know, John, I've looked at those radios, and those would be awesome if you had like a Mega Squirt or a Micro Squirt because of the app that you can get to run on the Android tablets. And so you can literally just turn them into a digital dash for your Mega Squirt or Micro Squirt. So, in fact, I have a 7-inch tablet that whenever I'm in the truck, I fire it up to watch my EGTs that I have logged through the Micro Squirt. Yep. And the cool thing about it is the way that software works is literally you go in on the software on your laptop and set your gauges up there. And then you export like the gauge parameters and download that to the tablet, and it just pulls up the gauges. And, you know, you can get Bluetooth dongle and then have it hook up Bluetooth. Sam, I've got some videos on it, I think. Yeah, as Joe says, you can swing injection timing like crazy on port injection, car full throttle. Sees basically no difference in most cases. Because you got to realize on port injection, those things are doing wall wetting to help with transient and stuff like that. So when you're in higher RPMs, your injectors are on almost all the time anyways on port injection. As I said, it's a big difference whenever you're talking about direct injection. And there is some benefit on direct injection because you can get some more injection window sometimes, but you're also talking about milliseconds of injection window. And so it's not a cure for running out of injectors. So you can chase it around and try and use it, people bump pressure and do this and try to change the windows and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you just run out of injectors on direct injection. Now, Josh, that's kind of a cool idea. Rear view mirrors with Android built in. Send your gauges to your rear view mirror. Yeah, I like that idea too. That would be dope on the Nova to have gauges there instead of having them anywhere else. Any affordable direct injectors coming out soon? Probably not. Probably not. Okay, it is 8:34. We have gone almost 5 minutes over. I'm going to wrap it up. Remember, going to be out next Thursday. Be back the Thursday after that. We're going to get Joe Simpson in here talking some tuning. Bring your questions. I'm sure a lot of them. Nah, DIY brother, I'm running the stock injectors on my Silverado. I'm just running 850s on top of it. So, yep, appreciate everybody. You guys know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. ABT, always be tuning. Go get yourself a Rocky Mountain Race Week limited edition shirt. GoRoadGarage.com. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. You know how to get that. You know how to reach me if you need anything.